G'day guys and welcome to the NRL round 10. It's round 10 of footy, which means it is the annual Magic round. I'm pretty sure May 9, which is today, today's May 10. Yesterday would have been the Eels and the Storm at 2019 Magic round. I'm pretty sure that was around the same time. So it's always around the same time of year. I'm really looking forward to this. There's going to be some great games of footy. The Saturday night blockbuster, the Melbourne Storm against the Penrith Panthers. I'm going to be speaking about all my tips throughout this video. Before this video starts, I am doing a giveaway on Instagram. I would like to do one for YouTube to celebrate Magic Round. For this one, you can win an NRL cap of your choice. So for this one, I want you to comment, and I'm going to make this giveaway close the entries on Saturday night before kickoff between the Storm and the Panthers. We'll make it so 7:30 Saturday night. Comment how many NRL players you think I've taken a photo with. Now, that number is set now. If there's some over the weekend, it doesn't count. How many NRL players since 2018 when I've been doing these vlogs? And go and check out the Instagram. That closes tonight at 8 p.m. You have to comment how many games you think I've been to, regardless of game day vlogs since 2018. But let's get straight into my NRL round 10 tips. The round kicks off with the Newcastle Knights facing the Canterbury Bulldogs. The Bulldogs on paper, this new look team of Matt Duffy, Josh Addo-Carr, Matt Burton, Kyle Flanagan. I can't wait to go to a game and watch them live. I've been waiting to watch this Bulldogs lineup. I know their attack hasn't been great, but I think they've been playing better footy, especially last week in the second half against Canberra. I thought it was a flip of the coin game, but I was pretty confident in tipping Canberra, and the Dogs' attack looked pretty poor. As for the Newcastle Knights, their attack looked pretty poor in recent weeks. They looked better against the Cowboys. They were able to score some points. They broke that try-scoring drought of 2 weeks. As for the Knights, Jack Johns is out for this one. Raymond Vitala-Mariner has been named on the reserves for the Bulldogs. Adam Clune returns to the side, meaning Phoenix Crosland drops to the 14 jersey. This game was obviously back at Magic Round in 2019. It was the Knights getting the win, and Mitch Barnett also returns for the first time in 6 weeks. So, first game, Friday night, 6 o'clock. A bit of a nothing game really for both of these sides. Not really playing for too much right now. But I think that the Newcastle Knights sitting at the bottom of the ladder, they've shown a lot of struggling signs this year. But I think they've been able to score points in majority of their games, besides obviously those 2 weeks. Whereas the Bulldogs, I can see why people would be tipping them, but I just can't get a read on Canterbury, especially at this point of the season. Maybe they'll get better in the back half of the season, but I'm not so sure. So I'm going to go with the Newcastle Knights to win this game, 24 points to 10. I'm actually going to go with the Knights 13+. I think they'll be too good. I think there's some big inclusions as well. Kind of wish Dane Gagai was back into the side. He was a chance of returning, but I'm going to go the Knights by 14. And I'm going to go with Edric Lee to score the first try. I think the Knights winger will bag a try, and I think it will be the first try of the match on Friday night. The next game is a cracker. It sees the Manly Sea Eagles up against the Brisbane Broncos. Now, if you saw my Instagram post regarding the game day schedule, this game will be vlogged, and I will be supporting the home team of the Brisbane Broncos. It is a Manly home game. Last year, Manly absolutely embarrassed the Broncos, 50 points to 6. We saw the impact that Tom Trbojevic brings to this side last week. All three Trbojevic brothers once again in the starting side. Tom at fullback, Ben in the centres. He kind of played more of a back rower role last week. He did play a bit of centre too. And Jake Trbojevic. Josh Schuster has been named. I'm just trying to check where he's been named. He's in jersey number 22, so he could be a chance of returning. Ola Kalatu returns, I think, from suspension. It could be injury. No, it was illness last week. He's been out a few games this year. Big boost for the Broncos in Payne Haas. Payne Haas returns for the Broncos. As for these sides, I think Manly's defence really struggled against the Tigers. They really let the Tigers start to get back into the game, but came over the top of them, got a nice win. They're building towards things, Manly. As for the Broncos, their 3 straight wins. This game is at home Adam Reynolds is playing better footy. Katoni Staggs is playing some great footy. It's going to be a great matchup there. The kicking game of DCE and Adam Reynolds, it's very hard to split the two. And I feel like I'm falling into a bit of a trap here. And I feel like most people will go for the Manly Seagulls. But I'm going to go for the upset again here. I think both Friday night underdogs. I'm going to go with the Brisbane Broncos. I think that they can get revenge for last year, that 50-6. I think they're a top 8 team, and I think they can beat the Manly Seagulls on Friday night. I think it'll be a very tight game of footy. So I'm going to go the Broncos by 2. I think that the Broncos will win 22 points to 20. And I'm going to go a bit left field here. I think Manly will probably score first through their attack. I'm going to go with Lachlan Croker, the hooker for the Manly Seagulls, to score the first try of the match. So the Broncos and the Knights to win on Friday night. Next game sees the New Zealand Warriors, who could not win against 11 Cronulla Sharks on 13 Warriors. Absolutely disgracing edit. I feel you kind of have to feel for the Warriors, but at the same time, it's like, how? You just look at it and how? Are the Sharks that good? Are the Warriors that bad? We've seen them concede 70 points. The Warriors have to play better footy. There's no doubt about it. They're a better team on paper than they have been playing. They have to play better footy. Bailey Sirenen is out for this one. Tohu Harris has been named in the back row, jersey number 12. Marcelo Montoya has also been named to return to the wing for the Warriors. Their bench, Aaron Penne, Bunty Afoa, Jack Murchie, and Ben Murdoch-Marcilla. And then their new recruit in Freddie Lussick has been named in 25. Could be a chance to come in for Wade Egan. We'll see. As for the Rabbitohs, a huge out. Cameron Murray is going to spend some time on the sideline. Very sad, this one. Hopefully he gets back and fit soon. Tom Burgess has been named to return for the Rabbitohs. Jacob Host has been named. I'm just trying to check where he is. He's in jersey number 12, so he's back. As for the Rabbitohs, they're embarrassed by Brisbane. They look all sorts. Both of these teams, it makes it a kind of hard game to tip, so I can't go either team 13 plus. Saturday, 3 o'clock. Warriors, the home team. I'm going to go with the Bunnies here. I think the Bunnies will be a little bit too good for the Warriors. I don't think there'll be too many points scored in this one. I don't think the Rabbitohs will hit that 30-40 mark. So I'm going to go with the Rabbitohs by 12. I think they'll win 28 points to 16. I think the Warriors can score plenty of points. They scored 10 on the weekend, but I think they'll score more, at least another point this week. I'm going to go Cody Walker to score the first try for this one. I think the Rabbitohs should be a little bit too good for the Warriors. Next game sees the Gold Coast Titans, who are on a losing streak, up against the St. George Illawarra Dragons. Now, let me just say the Dragons going into this game were absolute certainties for me, but I'm looking at this lineup and you've got AJ Brimson back in that number 6 jersey. That is huge for the Gold Coast Titans. Jaden Campbell returns to fullback. I think Brimson's been playing some of his best footy this year when he's in that 5/8 role, so it makes it really hard to tip this game. Will Smith is out for this one. Patrick Herbert is out. Kevin Proctor has been dropped to the reserves by the looks of it. Cody Ramsey has been named in jersey 19. Fuimianu, Woods, Laurie and Sullivan on the bench. I think this game will be real tight. I don't think, like the Warriors and Rabbits, I don't think either team will blow it out of the water. And I think that if there's a game for this round, my best chance to witness Golden Point, this could be it. I'm not going to tip Golden Point here, but I think it's a decent chance. A little bit worried about Moses Mbai at fullback. Obviously that try that he try assist basically to Nick Meaney on the weekend against the Melbourne Storm. And Jack DeBellin scoring a try for the Dragons on the weekend. But the Titans get a few players back. You've got Jermaine Asako on the wing for this one as well. A very different look team. And is David Fifita? David Fifita is out for this one. That's still a big out for me. I'm going to tip the Dragons by 8. I'm going to go the Dragons to win in a very high scoring game. 30 points to 22. I think the Dragons, they'll bounce back from their loss. I'm not confident. I was confident. But seeing some of the ins for the Titans, they'll be right up for this game. They won't want to lose again. I think they've won their last 2 against the Dragons too. So I'm going to go Dragons by 8, 30 to 22. I'm going to take Moses Sully, the centre from the Dragons, to score the first try for this game. Moving into an absolute blockbuster on Saturday night. It is the game of the round without a doubt at 7:45. It is the Melbourne Storm going up against the Penrith Panthers. Now, the Melbourne Storm will be without a couple of players for this one. Nick Meaney has moved to fullback for the injured Ryan Pappenhausen. Already that takes goal kicking out as a factor. You got Cameron Munster, who just can't kick goals and probably will be kicking them. Nick Meaney is a great choice again for goal kicking. Marion Seve comes in for the injured Remus Smith. And then you've pretty much got the rest of the side is fine, just those two there. Tui Kamikamika has been named with a chance in jersey number 23. Brandon Smith on the bench. Tyrone Wishart, once again on the bench. He came and played big minutes last week though. As for the Penrith Panthers, who were beaten by the Parramatta Eels in Penrith last week, they are going to want to bounce back and they are going to want to win this game and win it well. Robert Jennings, who's recently signed with a new club, I think it's the Dolphins actually, I almost said the Rabbitohs, is in jersey number 18 for this one. The Penrith Panthers should win this game. I think that Penrith have a better lineup overall, but when the Storm, they put players, fill in players, and they get the job done. And the game's at Suncorp as well. Because it's at Suncorp, and because there's still a lot to like in Cameron Munster this year, still a great number 9 in Harry Grant. It's going to be an awesome game. It's going to be a very tight game as well. I'm going to go with the Melbourne Storm to win at $2.30 odds. I love the odds that you're getting for the Melbourne Storm. I know it comes down to goal kicking, but I think ultimately in attack, the Storm are just a little bit better. And I think the Storm will win 24 points to 18. I think it'll be an awesome game on Saturday. And I'm going to take Justin Olam to score the first try for this one. It's going to be a cracker of a game. Next game is on Sunday at 2 o'clock, I believe, 1:50. It's the Sharks up against the Raiders. Now, for this game, the Cronulla Sharks are going to be without Jesse Ramian. They're going to be without Will Kennedy. So it makes it really interesting. You've got Matt Moylan, Braden Trindle in the half, Nico Hines filling in at fullback. Jared Croker is out for the Canberra Raiders. Xavier Savage has been named on the bench with Tomoko and Chris in the centres. Frawley and Snyder once again in the halves. The Raiders, they were able to beat the Bulldogs pretty unconvincingly, 14 points to 4 last week. The Cronulla Sharks beat with a 12-man squad at 11 at one point, were able to beat the Warriors at home. The Sharks have been playing some pretty good footy for the most part this year, and I think this game will be a lot closer than people think. And I've picked one game to have a field goal, and this is it. I'm going to go the Cronulla Sharks by 7. I think the Raiders are a huge chance of pulling off an upset here, but I just think from what I've seen from the Sharks, they'll be a little bit too good for the Raiders. So I'm going to go with the Sharks by 7. I'm going to go 17 points to 10. I think it'll be a pretty low scoring game for the most part. And my first try scorer for this one, I'm going to go with Connor Tracy. The next game sees the Sydney Roosters going up against my Parramatta Eels. Now, I'll tell you what, the Eels, can they have a home game at Magic Round? I don't think we had it against the Warriors last year. I don't think we had it against the Storm either. So give us a home game next year, NRL. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But as for the Parramatta Eels coming off that huge win over the Penrith Panthers, confidence building 22 points to 20. And the Roosters 44 to 18 over the Titans. At one point, closer game than the score reflects, but Roosters, man, played well last week. James Tedesco really hit some form. Manu proving why he's the best centre in the game. Tupou with a double. Suwali with a double. Luke Keary with a fantastic kicking game as well. This is going to be a very tough game, and Parramatta, we've learnt, are very inconsistent. Connor Watson returns for the Roosters at hooker. That is a big inclusion for mine. And as for the Parramatta Eel, Sean Russell has been named in jersey number 21. I think there's a chance we could see maybe... I don't know. I think Hayes Perham could be pushed out of the side to make way for Sean Russell. We'll wait and see what happens though. Sivo looks to be about 2 weeks away from what I'm hearing as well, because I know a lot of people would probably want to see James Tedesco going up against Sivo, and obviously we play the Roosters again in about a month's time. But anyway, Sunday Arvo, game against the Roosters. It's going to be tough. I'm going to get behind the boys here. I think they'll win. I think we'll win by 10. I don't trust us enough to win 13 plus, especially the consistency factor. I think both of these teams are pretty good in attack, especially last week. So I'm going to go with a high scoring game. I'm going to go 28 points to 18. And my first try scorer back in that number 6 jersey, another blinder in the halves. I'm going to go with Dylan Brown. The final game of the round says the West Tigers up against the Cowboys. I'll be vlogging this one. Nick from Australia supporting his Cowboys. I'll be supporting the West Tigers. Now, I just want to say that David Nofaluma is still out for this game. Stefano Ukimanu is on the bench, not in the starting side. And I think Stefano is a big factor, but David's just too much of a loss for mine. I was so close. If he returned, I was going to tip West Tigers to win this game. I just think the Cowboys have won a few in a row now. They still haven't convinced me. I think that they probably will play finals footy. I just don't think they're a top 6 side in my opinion yet. I think there's a few teams above them. We'll wait and see though. I could absolutely eat my words. But I think they can get over the Tigers in this game. But I think the Tigers will make it very tough for them. I'm going to go with the Cowboys by 4 here. I'm going to go 20 points to 16. It's not in Townsville. It is at Suncorp. So I think they'll make it tough. The Tigers have played pretty good at Magic Round, especially last year against the Newcastle Knights. So I'm going to go Cowboys to win 20 points to 16. And I'm going to go with Jason Taumalolo to score the first try. Guys, those are my tips for the NRL Magic Round. I hope you're excited. It's going to be a huge week. There's going to be little giveaways put up on my Instagram. You can come and grab those prizes off me just like last year. It's going to be an awesome week. As for my multis, I'm going big this week, and I created something last week with the try scorer. I'm going to call it try scorer bingo. So I'm going to go with the Newcastle Knights 13 plus. I think that they can beat Canterbury. I'm convinced that the Knights will fire up with a few of their bigger guns back. The South Sydney Rabbitohs, minus 5.5. I think they've just got too much firepower for the Warriors, even though I've got them winning 1-12. The Dragons, plus 10.5. I'm not confident to take the Dragons at the minus with the Titans team on the park, so I'm going to take those Dragons plus 10.5. So I think that they probably win the game, but they can lose it by less than 10. The Melbourne Storm, at those odds are ridiculous odds, minus 1.5. So the Storm to win by 2 or more. I just think they can get the job done. And that is $27.46. Huge odds this week. Huge odds. Now, let's get to the try scorers. Last week, Nico Hines, first try scorer. Clint Gutherson, anytime try scorer. I think the other one was Ben Travojevic, anytime try scorer. This week, I'm going Mitch Barnett. His return to the Knights will boost them. He'll cross over. Payne Haas. He'll be huge for the Broncos. I was so close to tipping Manly. I just think the Broncos are going to fire up and just show everyone how good they are this season. Alex Johnston. It's a safe pick. Why not chuck it in there? Tip the Dragons. Let's go the opposite. AJ Brimson to score a try in that number 6 jersey. From the bench, the Penrith Panthers to get a late try in the form of Scott Sorensen. He's a fantastic forward. Sia Sifa Talakai, once again, proving just how damaging he is. Big game last week. Sia Sifa Talakai might be my captain for Supercoats this week. I think he's going to have a game day at those Raiders centres. Speaking of centres, for the Sydney Roosters, I'm going to go Paul Momirovski. I back Manu enough. Let's go Paul to score a try. And finally for the Tigers, I've got a low scoring game. Let's go with Luke Brooks to score a try at any time. Guys, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hope you enjoyed it. And obviously enter this giveaway to win an NRL cap. I'll see you guys later.